The world is dark. More dark than it should be. But there is notes here and there. Lights. Butterflies? It's strange, but you do not know the concept of strange. Logic and fact for now. It's dark. But eventually, it begins to light up, and your surroundings become more clear. Slowly, movement becomes natural again to you. Slowly attempting to get back up to your feet, to survey your surroundings. Grass beneath you. Many different types of flowers. You find yourself in unfamiliar terrain. On a little island amidst a lake of an unknown substance. Ruins spanning all throughout the vision. And before you, a overly sized tree. And a moon that is too big to be that close. The most intriguing feature is that behind you. Another tree, which you can only describe as glowing and white. It's overwhelming at first, but these logical and rational thoughts are cut off by a voice. One that is unfamiliar to you. You, who have no true shell, no true life. You have a long way to go before you are ready. No purpose. You have a long balance after all. But you must start your journey if you truly wish to wake up. But of course, something can truly not start from nothing. So first, I will give you this gift. The gift of curiosity. To venture forward into the unknown and what-ifs. Take this gift and find yourself. You have collected your first shard of self, the shard of curiosity. You take in your surroundings once more. You are on a unknown inlet in some sort of lake, with a liquid that is not water, but you don't know what it is. These curious butterflies, they shouldn't be glowing, but they do. It's fascinating. In front of you is a magnificent tree that has grown unnaturally large, catching the eye as you look up and up and up. Ruins that have been here for who knows how long. Peaks, steeples, arches. And the moon, so big, how is it so close? And once again, the tree behind you, so bright to look at. What could have made that? New thoughts, new expressions. I'll start. With curiosity now in your mind, you take your first steps forward, and you will attempt to find yourself. And as you walk forward, you are someone else. Your cards will be immediately up once you enter the map. You find yourself in a painting, a world of inks and paints that make up your surroundings. It's strange but beautiful at the same time. A pool filled with flowers that look natural but unnatural at the same time. And as you just stand there taking in your surroundings, you eventually find the path forward. Walking along tapestries of trees and mountains, nature. You find yourself walking down from the small plateau and touching down onto this painted canvas of a world. Dull footsteps accompany yours. Impacts that are less heavy, like stepping on a sponge, but one with less give. Little flecks of ink and paints come up with each step. Birds seemingly suspended in time painted for the background of this world. And running water from structures lifted into the sky. A world of creativity amongst the canvas. So curious. What could have made such a painting like this? It can only be described as a painting. You continue to walk forward, finding path after path that leads on. A wooden bridge and a gazebo, empty, a niche complement to the background of your journey. But the bridge is where you must go. Your next step forward. As you continue on, more of the landscape becomes visible. Clouds that flow through the breeze, inlets and floating islands, mountain ranges. And off in the distance, you can hear the faint sound of brushes, as if someone is painting on a canvas. And before you, with instinct alone, you can tell, past that door gate is where you must go. Before you stands a creature, one that you do not recognize, wearing metal and steels and ropes, ornaments of some unknown tradition. But it continues to paint, painting on a stone wall carved for a canvas, brushing paint after paint. No rhythm, no motion, but drawing. There seems to be no semblance of reason for this painting. No goal, no theme, but it brushes nonetheless into a swirl of color. And as it dabs the last bit of ink onto the canvas, it stops and turns to look at you. Step after step, slightly shaking the ground, it moves forward, staring at you, a mask of its own. It seems puzzled, not knowing what you are. But then it stops and looks back towards its painting, it now slightly shimmering. A small chuckle under its mask as it bids you forward. The sound of sloshing ink as the figure disappears. There is a resonance to this mural, this painting of inks and paint. A resonance with you. You do not know why, but you cannot help but move forward and stare. Step after step, you move closer to this mural as it glows brighter and brighter. And, whether through knowledge or instinct, you put a hand forward. Painting mural glows bright as it begins to drip down and down and down, shrinking until a small photo is in your hand. Something's familiar about it, even if you cannot see the details. But something new has come with it. A new shard of yourself. Creativity. Strive to make new things, even if there's no rhyme or reason. There always must be creativity for the crafter, after all. The world, all around you, now fills with the sounds of drips and drops. As little flecks and flecks of gray fall from the sky above. Not rain, but the sky itself slowly melting away. As the world slowly becomes less and less solid, and everything, for but a moment, fades to black. The sound of sloshing grows more apparent, and the color returns. A pathway before you. place of knowledge, of books, lamps, lights, globes, knowledge. It all stands before you. The next part of your journey lies somewhere here. It is up to you to find it. But where would you even begin to look? A desk filled with books after books, candles and wicks and flames. It seems so familiar, but unfortunately not here. Nothing has that resonance as the painting did. You must look elsewhere. You find yourself staring at this globe in the sky. Its movements seeming to opposite of yours. As you look up, it looks down, seemingly observing you. But only that and nothing more. Up and up you go, this spiraling staircase. The architecture of this place is fascinating. You don't know why, but the details are catching your eye. And then you see before you a small ladder perched on a shelf. And that resonance once more. It seems sturdy enough to climb safely. And at the very top, a singular book, lost and forgotten. That same evanescent glow. You open the book. Like the painting, you can't make much out. But there's stories after stories, tales after tales, and just knowledge. Knowledge that everyone has, and everyone has always had. And now you have this knowledge as well. You have obtained the shard of self-knowledge. You walk back down the ramp. And the library creaks as boards of wood and leather creak and shift. And something opens to you once more. Brilliant, everlasting starlight, as far as the eye can see. And a moon, too large, too close, and elements and stars, they just continue to rotate. You find yourself lost in the view. You continue to stare, caught in this trance-like state. And as you slowly come to, you hear the faint splashing behind you as the world comes to a crawl. You barely have time to look behind you as you see a sword coming down. An unknown face, an unknown soul. As it slowly comes down, via instinct alone, you raise a singular arm. And your shell reactionary casts Mage Shield. The sword shatters, just like this creature. Self-preservation. Something everyone must have eventually. The will to keep yourself alive. Keep yourself functioning. The shattered remains of the sword slowly coalesce, once more having a faint resonance. It slowly floats towards you and fades into your hand. But unfortunately, no one can always win every situation. There must always be failure at some point. Silent as can be, the shadow, the first thing you see. The world slows to a crawl again. A gun raised to you. But you feel much weaker this time. The difference, what could have happened? No time, no effort, no power left. And you hear it first. Click and boom. You expected pain, anguish, agony. But instead there is simply a crack and a shatter. And you know you're damaged. But no pain, no feeling, just logic. The new normal for you. Your torso, your porcelain exoskeleton shatters, leaving the steel insides. And this brings courage, as the figure, frozen in time, slowly fades away. And you have gained a shard of failure and courage. No one is perfect. Everyone will eventually make a mistake. But that is just to live. The shards of porcelain crumble into the water, bobbing slowly up and down, up and down. And in the midst of them is the ball of lead, as it slowly begins to vibrate and glow and resonate, and it too flows up and in. Failure, courage, self-preservation. More and more of these shards of self. What makes you, you, as what you can only understand. And once more, like everywhere else, the water begins to part, forming an arc in front of you, as you find yourself once more walking forward. If you have the music on, turn it off. You find yourself in a small town. Bricks, lamps. You know you must continue forward and find your next goal. The light breeze is cold. The only thing you can consider cold. Nature and civilization. The faint echoing steps as you walk on this stone path. And above you once more, stars. Once more you must shake off this feeling and continue forward. The more of these shards you have collected, the more of yourself you feel slightly grow each time, like fragments of a whole. You feel lighter, less weight on you, more of a strive to go forward. Slowly you make your way up these steep steps. And you jump. You jump and you cling and you jump again. Like bouncing off a wall. Out of character, if you jump, hit the wall and jump again, you will double jump.
One-handed movement.
Right. You can double jump just clicking jump twice and move forward. continue forward, knowing this path ahead of you will not be as straightforward as the last. Hey, Mary, thank you for the follow. I'm doing a little prologue from my friend here for their entrance of a character. A little something I'm doing for them. This is their character that I'm helping reintroduce into Aether, as they had problems with it the first time. This wall is much bigger than the last one, and you're unsure if you can get past it, but you must try, nonetheless. You look up, unable to find a natural way to pass it, but the slight whooshing of wind behind you, as something slowly twists and twins in the wind. A form of magitech, slowly twisting, flipping its way in the wind. Past this grating, much more smaller than a jump. You get the feeling if you were to hop the fence and land on the magitech, you would find your way forward. A jostling start. A slight impact, but no damage. You find yourself across a river, onto a second set of islands. More paths branch out. More magitech. And once again, that brilliant moon and stars. How they glow in brilliant splendor. How its light bounces on the clouds, making them to a brilliant facet of the night sky. You could look at it forever, if you really wanted to. But once again, you shake the feeling off. You must find yourself, lest you never truly wake up. Taking in your surroundings, unsure of where to go, you find yourself staring in this direction, to the highest peak. What seems to be a bell tower and a windmill. Over there is where you feel your resonance connect once more. A steep fall, stone below you. But behind you, you hear the whirring, the whistling, and the twirling again. Perhaps it shall help you forward. The landing this time is not so grateful as you hit stone, and a slight crack. The lower part of your leg has splintered slightly. Not slowly falling out, but damaged. Once more paths, more magitech. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for following. I hope you enjoy this little show. And I hope you also like the other content I've done, other RPs and stuff. So just sit back and enjoy. A curious settlement ahead of you. A beam with water you don't know the depth of. It is most likely not a good idea to try and traverse this with your leg. Perhaps the other way is the correct path. The interior of a building. Walls high and higher. This seems to have been a market at one point. Stalls now empty, the signs still flipped to open. Behind this potted plant you find some stairs. You believe you can cling up the wall here at least and get a better view. Right here. This is easier. You find yourself very close to the edge. But this gives you a vantage point, for the least to say. You might be able to get onto a roof if you follow the little wall. A game of balance. This one much less precarious, more wider. A hop and a skip climbing the pillar. And a little turn, and you find yourself in a makeshift rooftop garden. A singular pot of flowers. Roses, daisies, flowers that are neat and dark blues. And once again you hear that whirring of magitech coming from over here, over this wall. You see it directly ahead of you. Over to the other roof. Seems to be going in that direction. And this is where things get dangerous. A jump across roofs. Hey Zara, thank you for the follow. With a slight lift in the air behind you, you make your way across the building. No damage to you. And your destination lies ahead of you. As you fly through the air, watching Magitech to Magitech bouncing you forward and forward and forward, faster and faster, you make yourself to the end, to the plateau, not without one last as one of your legs finally shatters. You take a knee. No pain, just you know you're damaged. However, before you floats down a brilliant red rose, fluttering into your hand. Perseverance. Even if the path is dangerous, you'll go the distance. Without perseverance, you cannot grow. Your leg, like being pulled through a flow of time in reverse. Shards slowly fill back up and up and up as your leg begins to reform. And you're able to stand once more. Looking around you, you see more buildings. But you're drawn to the broken segment of the wall, pulled towards the moon. More Magitech in front of you. But that's not important. The starlight is, and you wish to get closer. Soft grass to cushion your blow. The solemn silence of the night sky, only slightly filled with the chirp of crickets. Little to no light pollution is here, and so the stars are as brilliant as they can get. You find yourself nearing the cliff's edge, but you're fine standing here, gazing out into the sea, into the night sky. Staring at the moon and its reflection into the water. and you find yourself not alone. To your left, light breeze on a cloth. Another joining to stare and watch. Monochrome clothing with red gloves, no head. Peculiar. You feel like you should know her, but you don't. A strange familiarity. You stare and stare for what feels like hours. But then the thought comes back to you. Your journey is not done. Not yet. And if you were to spend all your time looking at the stars, you would never wake up. And with this thought, you break free from this trance, and the figure is gone. The moon seems to dim slightly. As if it was made of white paint, it slowly begins to drip. Drip, drop, drip. And the last drip of the moon coalesces as it slowly dims and dims and faster than one could expect glances over to you. A compass filled with stars slowly sifts its way down from the night sky and lands in your hand. A compass filled with stars. The shard of self of focus. As if you were without focus, you would never find your way. And everyone must focus at some point in their life. Stars call once more, but not to stare. They share a solemn farewell as it seems it's time for you to go. But where is to go next? It seems that even if you do not know the answer, the world does. And stars coalesce into a point. And you walk forward. Shoot, I was muted for that. Dang it. This is where things get crazy. Alright, now what you're gonna do is you're gonna go over to here, click Toggle Welcome UI. You're gonna reach behind your head and open the world menu like Jaro taught us. And you're gonna go over to World Object Settings. You're gonna turn off all world mirrors. You're gonna scroll down and disable the treasure chest and their messages. Next, you will go over to sound settings. Turn off autoplay. Then you will scroll all the way to the bottom and click on Bonds and Relations. This is where you'll turn on your world sounds.
It's not letting me click it.
Do you have your menu? Do you have your hand menu open still?
Okay.
Alright. You all set? Alright. Touching down on unfamiliar stone, you find yourself in the entrance of some sort of building, a fortress perhaps. Intricate carvings, all connecting tile to tile to tile. And a small pedestal catches your eye. It calls for you to touch it, placing your hand on the top. As you use it, a small melody playing, and with it a short flood of memories, emotion, something unfamiliar, goals, dreams, aspirations. For but a moment they're there, and they quickly fade as soon as they came. The start of something. Perhaps there is more within. Immaculate stone structures lost seemingly to time are before you. Vines creeping up the walls. Lights, crystalline lanterns still aglow with a faint orange light cascading over the interior. Branching paths are before you. Not as easier than the last. It seems for this you are truly on your own. You must forge your own path this time. it slowly occurs to you how empty this place really is. The only sound is the sound of echoing footsteps on cobblestone. Your footsteps. Echoing uninterrupted down these halls. Ever so faint, off in the distance, the sound of rushing water. It too bouncing off the walls, its direction unknown to you. Until, here it is. The room cast with a blue hue, different from the outside of orange. Water, nature. And once again, another pedestal. More emotion, more you, stronger and longer this time. Thoughts of what ifs, why not, how, when, why. Inspiration, dreams, goals, prowess. More powerful than the last, but once again slowly ebbs away. You're on the right track. Perhaps one or two more. The current of air, more apparent here. And as you approach, it occurs where exactly you are. High above the clouds. Once again on a floating island. Curious. The view itself is beautiful to look at. The sea of clouds replacing water as they flow forward and away. But there's more to find, more to learn. You need to wake up. The deeper in you go to this fortress, the more larger and larger it seems. Like an endless maze of the mind. Eventually you must reach somewhere, right? A grand step of stairs. And more paths to your left and right. More branching paths. Which one shall you take? You wonder to yourself, who could have possibly made something this big? How long has it been here? How long ago was it made? Curiosity floods your mind. The creative stonework, the reusing of crystals for lighting, creativity. The wonder if you are truly alone and if you are safe. Self-preservation. The wonder if you'll truly find what you're looking for. Focus. Your will to continue to go forward. Your perseverance. The knowledge that you know so much of this. The stones, designs, the vines, the plants, the crystalline structures. Knowledge. And the courage, whether you fail or not, knowing that you tried. All of these swirl and twirl, almost ready to finally recombine. You're so close. You can feel it. A different pedestal, different from the rest, pulsing with power from the orange crystals you've seen elsewhere. You put your hand towards it, and once more there is a pulse, a different pulse. Your vision getting blurry. Weakness in the feet, but it fades quickly. It's trying to tell you something. You're going the wrong way. And it goes silent. You must find a different path. This is an unsafe fall. Looks like you would shatter one of your legs again. Approaching this pathway, you feel the breeze once more, much stronger. Airflow. Most likely, wherever this path leads, it leads you outside. An exit under a cave, open to the sky, and a platform with pillars each glowing with light. And once again, a podium. Emotion once more, your thoughts that are truly yours, what you wish to be, what you want to be, inspiration, promises of a better future, all of that and so much more, clicks and clacks in your head, longer and longer and longer, almost there, and it fades once more. This time you're drawn to the platform ahead of you. a slight hum coming from it. You observe the pillars all glowing with bright pinks and reds and oranges like fantastic oil lamps colored to catch the eye. And you have this feeling. You're so close. You feel if you find one more of these pedestals and return here, the last piece of you will appear. You're so close. Just one more. It would seem you've exhausted all your paths from this point. The best idea would be to retrace your steps back to the Room of Water. A figure you do not recognize. And he's gone. Two sets of doors. Two more paths. Each lined with purple gems. Moving like your presence was noted, allowing you entrance as they slide closed behind you. A magic circle, wishing to take you somewhere. Deeper and deeper you go. You're so close. That thought, those 3 words echo in your mind. You're so close. But what are you close to? What is waking up? More twists and turns further and further. Would you even be able to find your way out if you tried? Two paths become clear. To your right, a hall going further down, and in front of you, a large open stone door. So many fragments of thoughts clink in your head, wishing to be thought more and more and more, but stunted. The final piece to let it all flow. And surprise, surprise, more splitting paths. It will most likely never get easier. A door, and there it is. The last. The very, very last. The last of the melody plays, and something builds, and builds, and builds, wrapping all the way around you and in. Feeling, emotion. It sticks. It finally sticks. You. You are you. You don't know who you are, but you are you. A sense of self. So close, but incomplete. You need yet, but go back. The thoughts finally, unhampered, come into full view. What are you? Who are you? Why are you here? You're not made of skin, but stone, porcelain. You know so much, but you remember so little. Where has all this knowledge come from? Where have been these places you've been visiting? These shards of yourself? What broke you in the first place if you ever were broken? Were you ever whole? Curiosity, excitement finally comes into full view. What will you truly be when you finally reach your goal? Who will you be? Will you be who you wish to be? Anxiety. Will this be the right end? Are you doing the right thing? Twinges of fear. Where are you? How did you get here? Emotion after emotion after emotion. Filtering through like light through a glass prism. Each step you go forward, you feel more and more. Even more excitement, wonder. What will be next? The door once again opens for you, graciously letting you in. And for a moment, you stop. Curiosity. What is through the other door? You could go back, but what if there's something else? These new thoughts pick at you. It is up for you to choose and pick where you go. Another thought occurs that you missed initially. Another magic circle. Another path. Even more curiosity. The hum is so much more. Once again, you saw a figure, one that seems so familiar. Once again, he is gone. As you move forward, the pillars around you thrum with life, waiting for you. A pulse. Another one. And another one after that. Each of the pillars pulse with life. And you feel a pulse within you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like a beating heart, pulsing with life. The sensation is strange. And once more your vision grows blurry. Hard and harder to focus. Lost in thought. Until another pulse and it's gone. This pulse. You. And not there a moment ago, but there now. On the floor lies a mask. Its features not being able to be seen, obscured by its glow. But you know, in the bottom of what you would assume is a heart, it is you. And you put it on. This really is you. You have collected the shard of yourself, identity. This truly is you. So many thoughts, so many voices that are all you at the same time. And for the first time, you finally feel like you can speak. Slowly thinking, focusing, putting the words to voice. quickly checking in to make sure you're good.
Oh, that made me tear up really bad.
Well, thank you. That makes me tear up a little bit as well. Hug.
I'm gonna try and get the words out. I'm assuming she's just gonna say like either her name or I'm me.
You are you. You have no name, not yet. The words finally come to your mind.
Me.
You are you. It's finally clicked. You are you. You look around you once more. A different point of view. You are here. You are in this room. You are present. As this thought finally permeates through you, you begin to hear that voice once more. You have finally found yourself. You are you. You have found life, thought, your true self and shell. You are almost ready. Almost, but not yet. You must now find your worth. And the world becomes a lot less comfortable. Something's growing, it's not right. And the uneasiness comes in a wave. Fear, anxious anxiety. What is happening? The world does not want you anymore. And it starts to get dark. You feel the presence building more and more and more. And just as fear begins to take hold, you're taken somewhere else. You will now opening the world menu. Go to fast travel and go all the way to the bottom. And click avoid. Where are you? This isn't right. It's you, it's you, and it's only you. Where are you? Once you are by yourself and left alone with your thoughts. That pressure once more. Building and building. The uneasiness at its paramount. Something is wrong. Something is coming, and it is not friendly by any means. And once again, you begin to feel dizzy. A new sensation to you. And your vision fades, and you will find yourself elsewhere again. I'll pause while I figure something out. Pull up the menu and go to sound settings. You will scroll to the bottom and play In the Darkness of Ignorance. Once that is done, you should now go to Fast Travel, scroll to the bottom, and teleport to Sanctum. You touch down with uneven steps in an unknown location. This is not right. You're unfamiliar. You're scared. You don't know where you are. You were so close. You were right there. What now? Where do you even go? That presence grows stronger and stronger. Something is here. Forming from whatever liquid was in these tanks behind it. A figure clad in armor, spikes, and fire slowly makes its way to the top of the stairs. That feeling of unease grows to its highest point as it locks eyes with you. Even if you do not have eyes, it stares right at you. And you seem stuck, unable to move. This moment you are paralyzed with fear. Everything all at once has reached its highest point. More and more, this figure seems more and more overwhelming. As fear grips your heart, power grips it as it grows. A deep laugh comes from the armor. And all you know now is it is not... That's the word. You finally found it. This wants you dead. And you finally remember the only thing left now is to run. And so you do, as this begins to give chase. The doors seal shut behind you, giving you a moment to get some distance, but it won't last forever. You. You good? Good, yeah. You need to pause for a minute?
The Avatar's killing my frames.
Oh no. Shouldn't be. The only problem with it is bounding box. Shouldn't be that bad.
Ooh. My screen keeps freezing every so often.
Well, I'm in the other avatar now, so is it getting better at all?
Let me try something. First do that. Minus this.
Maybe turn down your graphics for just this, because this is a lot of moving things at once.
My graphics is as low as they can get.
Oh, shoot. Alright, I'm gonna transform again, see if it gets bad.
Okay.
Alright,
Frames again.
let's test if the model is the problem. Alright, I'm gonna get back into it.
Okay, a few sputters, but they're not as long. Okay, so it was, for some reason, Google decided to open up two separate windows on the side.
Alright. Count to 5. 3, 2, 1. Carts back up. With a thunderous crash, the doors are shattered as the figure continues its assault.
You have not the right to exist. You have not the right to leave here alive. You are not worthy of this gift of life. You are not anything at all. You are nothing. This will be your end before you even began.
As you begin and continue to run forward, this thing, this monster, its voice bounces off the walls so loud that even you can hear it so far away.
You have not the right to exist, to live, to have this gift. You will fall and fade before you even have the chance to begin. You will not leave this place alive. Do you hear me? I know you can. Where are you? There you are. So small. So small and insignificant, you are nothing. Go ahead, keep running. See how far it gets you. I always love a good chase. Hope you're far away, because I won't give you a second chance. The doors behind you shatter again as the creature bolts. Closer and closer. Shadow. You see its shadow. It's so close. And all you can do is run. It's all you can do. It slows its pace, walking instead of giving chase with full effort. Confident that eventually you'll slip up. You'll choose the wrong path. And you'll corner yourself. It sees you as nothing. You run and run, continue running. All the eyes are on you. You do not even know your own name. A skip in your heart as the figure bolts once more. Much taller, much faster. And it slips and hits a nearby wall, overestimating, before continuing its chase once more. And before you see it, another circle. Another way away from whatever this is. As it gets closer and closer and closer. And as you go through the last portal,
The feeling fades entirely. That malice, that hate, that spite, You are safe. The equivalent of adrenaline, fear, waving through you like waves of a tsunami.
Hot miking.
Apologies. Sorry. Like waves of tsunamis. It's all so much that fear, overwhelming. You know others can cry, can sob, can weep, and if you could, you probably would be. But you don't. This confuses you. You should be crying, you're terrified. And for the first time, you actually put a hand on your face. And the realization finally comes. You don't have one. This is wrong, right? You should have something there. You should have a mouth, eyes. But no, there's nothing there. What are you? Whatever this test was, you seem to have survived. You're alive. You're in one piece. Perhaps that means you were successful. Maybe, just maybe, if you return back, it will be truly over. As you continue through these twisting paths once more, there is another voice you hear, but different again. Not like the one before, not like the one that chased you, but one that brings an air of comfort, seemingly talking to himself. Yes, all right there. Perhaps, yes, the joint on the left arm. That will go there. Oh, you are coming together lovely. Yes. The mask, yes, the mask. That will be important. Give you as much comfort as you can. And the hair. Silvers, the grays, the whites. Monochromistic just like she. You will be amazing. I will give you my all. I promise. close. You can do it. It's been a while since I did this, so if all goes well, you should be ready. Pause. As you reach the top of the stairs, the voice gets louder and louder as you get to the final steps. You see a sight in front of you. A mage. A mage that seems so familiar. Looking over something. Staff in his hand. Looking at this stone. Something sitting on it. Hands on its lap. And you are unpaused. So close. What's next? As you get this close, to your surprise, it's you. Glowing ever so bright. The mage does not seem to acknowledge you. His focus is on the other you sitting here, seemingly absent of any life, half put together. In that final bit of resonance, it's you. As you reach out, the you on the stone looks up, and you both look at each other until it glows brighter and brighter and brighter until it fades into you, and the mage is gone. You are truly whole. Truly whole. You have finally done it. You've finally done it. I am so proud of you. This will be the brilliant start of you, I'm sure. And I will hold your hand as long as you need. But of course, this is only the beginning. You have a long day ahead of you. Isn't that right, Lynn? A hand on your shoulder. The mage is now looking at you. A beaming smile on his face. And that's the end. Respawn. Respawn. Woo! How was that?
You did that while covered in blood.
Thumbs up.
I'm crying.
I know that makes me cry knowing I made you cry. If you will allow me to gush in a moment, let me end my stream so we can gush about how cool this was. Well, I hope you enjoyed the module, guys. It's not official by any means, but it's something I put together for anime in her introduction to her character. Seems she enjoyed it, so I hope you enjoyed it. and enjoy this raid to Todd. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you haven't followed yet, be sure to follow. It costs you nothing, and you'll help me with my career. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye. See you next time.